Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 for Thursday, September 1st, 2022. The markets for the better part of the day did, or at least the morning, did move down, went to a new low, followed through, found reason to follow through to the downside, but stopped just below support, literally just below support, and then launched. Now, I'm going to start by, I've put up the fibs for view number 2. So let's not try to get caught up in, I know the labeling is there. That is for how I am continuing to look at it right now. But as I have been discussing, the view number 2 is really coming into play in an outside way. So I want to continue to make this or make folks aware of it. Now, again, because I ask myself, why would a market decide to turn and start to run up, basically giving the general public or retail a false narrative, so to speak? Because for whatever reason, the price gets run up. If they want to see the price, they have to sell something. Whatever the reason is, it still happens. So on a technical basis, we have to continue to look at it. So again, when it does happen, you can't take that moment to stop and say, why? And I know we're looking for the why so that we can make a decision as to whether or not we're going to change our position, turn things around. So I want to wrap a few parameters around there, which may help you if you're a swing trader in options or a swing trader in the future, that you can start to look and see what possibly could have started right there. So I'm going to dive in so I can review that, then get to that bigger picture under our current view. So on the daily, market did come down, launched higher. That's the part that we're going to take a look at. So I'm just going to go straight down to that hourly chart and pull it open. The other thing that I did do before I opened it up, I did swing the labeling around and I moved it up. The minor one was down here. That's now become, I went up a whole degree to the intermediate degree. So here's the minor 5 waves down, forming intermediate degree 1. Now this is in the preferred count. Otherwise, I'd have to leave this as minor A under the view number 2, minor A, minor B, and we're still coming off in 5 waves down. So it's a little iffy, but it could work, and it's pulling into support. So I need to just follow through by saying, right now, if I go down, I can, let me go, I think the 30-minute chart can show me what this looks like on the inside. Actually, if I go down to the 5-minute chart, it tells me exactly what's on that inside. So we're down here on the 5-minute chart, and when you're looking at it, it's actually quite powerful. As a day trader, as someone who's like watching it trade almost below 12,000 or well below 12,100, and it turns and in a few hours moves itself up to 12,297. And you're like, wow, what that's a very impressive move on a day basis, and extremely profitable if you just are open and you just trade it. And again, 5-minute chart, I'm going to open it up even further. I need to just show this because then I'll get back to what's going on. These one actually was the perfect 5 waves up actually on a 5-minute chart. So if I had to go, there's actually the low, but this, maybe put it in, and then coming off of that low, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. And we're cruising right up to keep going. So it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 5. So it could be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to put in a little bit more of a high, and then maybe pull back. But you're going to find support here, you're going to find support here, you're going to find support here, all the way down. But if it's going to follow the pattern that we've seen more recently, then it's just going to die. This was done for whatever reason. But I want to make clear that we need to keep in mind that alternate view, that view number 2, because it launched right off of it. That's what you would expect to see when a market, for whatever the reason, cyclical, whatever the reason is, if it's cyclical, if it's Fibonacci, if it's just a support level, if it's oversold, whatever the reason is, and the market launches like that, it's coming in more on a technical basis because it's just a number. So the number was hit, that clicked, and that triggered a bunch of other activity. This is coming out on the buy side. So if we keep it in the technical picture and that it's just a number, then we're able to deal with what levels it possibly could reach. And now you're able to then switch that over to make any changes to your position. Again, if you're a position trader and you're just swing trading options, or you're swing trading stock, or you're swing trading futures, you can still apply the same Elliott if you feel that your part of your stock is part of this index. So this is the way it is. If this continues to go higher, as I have stated before, if this marks the completion point for that internal intermediate wave B of the primary B, which we are counting as being complete, right there. Now, so this type of a turn, if they immediately reject it, it's going to keep a lot of things in place. If they don't reject it and keep building on it, it's going to give us more evidence that this completed something that is not included in this other count. So, and what would actually invalidate this count would be, in my mind, would be a move above 12,667. If it starts heading up to the hourly 200, no go. I want to switch. And again, I'm telling you, if again you're a swing or whatever type of trader where you're carrying a position, right now, unfortunately, the stop is here. If you're still short and you're making money, you got to make some decisions. Now, if it turns and just really sinks and starts to break back below the 20 and the 8 on the hourly level, right? So the 20 and the 8 on the hourly level, right now it's hovering right at the 50. Right at the 50. So be careful. Now, that's under view number 2. Back at view number 1, take this off. Oops. No. All right, so now I got to take 2 off. Remove and remove. Okay, so under view number 1, still primary A, primary B, and a primary C. Like I said, as when I dropped it down to the hourly chart before, I changed these to intermediate degree. So it is intermediate 1 completed here, intermediate wave 2 completed at 13,226, and we're in that intermediate third wave and subdividing. So minor 1, minor 2. So minor 1 was last Friday, minor 2 is this Friday. Here's minute 1, minute 2, going to be this Friday. And then what happens? It pukes. Pretty much, that Friday, they bought it up a little bit more, and then it just died. All of these things are possibility. And the fact that if it is this larger move down, then yeah, absolutely. And it can turn on a dime and just puke. And it's nothing more than, and I want to tell you when it doesn't, if and when it happens. And they're going to buy it up a little bit. You can see right there. Somebody needs it. So we'll see what they want to do. In any case, they, for whatever reason, which we don't know, and right now we got to trade the number and not care, because we have 2 scenarios and we need to be ready to trade either one without wondering. Just go, because it's the numbers. So we look at our technicals here. We look at the moving averages. We look at what's happened. Again, I can go all the way back down to that 5-minute chart. And on a 5-minute chart, I can see there's the low. Clean low. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to do a little 5. If it's not already done. So I would look for a correction. Go up a little bit and correct back. But there's support, there's support, there's support, there's support, and of course that low. So we still got a lot, and they may not want to do it, and it may wait for something else. I don't know. But again, coming in today without having known the news, and it wasn't out yet, with the turn in NVIDIA, the turn in the chip makers. And so we suddenly, AMD's down $3, $4, $5, $6. NVIDIA was down $17. Nice little turnaround at the end of the day, but the news is the news. So it's not like somebody suddenly turned bullish on NVIDIA. It's short covering. It's changing. It's delta. It's getting neutral. It's working numbers. So this is all this is, and this is technical quantitative trading. Now we can accept this and just trade with this on a 5-minute basis. Again, beautiful, beautiful, okay, awesome. Catching this, awesome. It just goes. Ding, 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 ding. I kid you not. This is a 5-minute chart. So this is 5 minutes into the bell, 250 to 297. That's a $47 move. Times 20 for each point. It's a lot of money. And you don't have to sit through the whole thing, and you can chicken out and sell it here. Who cares? It's money. That's money. That is these trades. But you can't, if you're sitting wondering why, what's going on. It's just happening, and it happened pretty quickly. 11:30, well, this would be 2:30 to 3:30. Quite the rise for an hour. Yep, tradable. And again, staying totally open to it, you did fine. If you were a position trader, I don't think you would have been bothered by it, but you would have been watching that. So in any case, back to the picture, because I got more to talk about. So sticking and adhering to the count. Minor 1, minor 2, minute 1, we're in minute 2. If that's an ABC and that finishes minute 2, then the next ticket is turn and fall. Turn and fall. Turn and fall. That's what all of these were. There's 1, there's 2. Here's the next one. Here's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another, and then that's 1. Well, and that's of this here. So we're in minor 3. So it's minute 1 of minor 3 of intermediate 3. And now we're getting ready to possibly complete minute 2 of minor 3 of intermediate 3. So you can see we're going to continue to tumble. The third wave, again, just a little bit of Elliott here. Third waves are normally and most often the longest and the strongest out of waves 1, 3, and 5. Remember, we're impulsing, it's a C wave. No matter what the direction of that C wave is, it will always be a 5-wave structure. So this whole move will not be necessarily a C wave, excuse me. C waves are always 5, but that would be the larger. So the primary C wave is going to be a 5-wave structure. And what's going to be inside that 5-wave structure are 5 waves of intermediate degree. So we're dropping into the intermediate third wave. What is that intermediate third wave going to consist of? 5 waves of minor degree, of which we've done 1 and 2. Okay, so in that minor degree third wave, what's going to be inside of that? 5 waves of minute degree. This is how far it's breaking down, and it is producing the size and the moves that are consistent with that extended structure, that extended move. So wave 3 is normally going to put in their own 5 waves, and then within that, that third of the third extends. Well, that's where we are. All right, when this is done, we will be in minute 3 of minor 3 of intermediate 3. So we will be in a 3 of 3 move, and it should produce at least another slide. Another 2, 3, 4 $400 slide and bring us under 12,000. And we have a lot of different support coming into that. So let me just flip back up, and I know Nasdaq gets that tonight. We did it with the S&P last night. First thing I want to put on is the larger. I'll put that on last, actually, because we know that always where that it goes down to. So let me go down to back to that hourly chart. So this is the wave, and now I'm going to put on some extensions, and these extensions will begin to show us where these things can come to. So now we're looking at what intermediate wave 3 should look like. So what we're looking at here is it got down to 1.382 so far. And that is, we're comparing wave 3 to wave 1. In the third wave, we're looking at to be the longest and the strongest, and it's kicked off beautifully. Look how far it's already come. So this could be winding up and finishing. And again, I want to tell you that I need to keep fluid in moving the degree. We have to let this whole thing form, because it is a larger degree. It's a primary degree. There are at least 2, if 3 chartable degrees below it. So anyway, intermediate wave 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, boom. And we're looking for it to come into here. And now I'm truly looking for it to really start to break down, which should start to put this third wave into large territory. On an intermediate degree, yeah. But we just keep, remember, being that it's all the way up, it's a primary, then this is where we start to see these larger moves. And so when I say that it increases in intensity and it also increases in power, there's the 100%. That's what I meant, 200%. So you're running Fibonacci's that are going to go out 200, 2.382, 2.50, 2.618, and it keeps going. So these are almost, you can almost look at them like increasing standard deviation. So the intensity of the move that's at hand, and I've moved this up a degree, remains pretty strong in this particular count. Now, here's the catch. Looking at the 2 counts I just presented, view 1 and view 2. This is view 1. This is view 1. View 2 is the other that would conclude a rally now. So we're at that point where view 1 or view 2 steps in, takes over, and basically almost invalidates the other one. So I'm going to just leave it there. Okay, so in the fact that we're going to continue and it's going to get intense, I will adjust fibs because I'm going to have to take off some of these to put on some of these higher degrees. But I can continue to fill in these blanks by now I can go inside of this guy and put in the fibs that would go 1, 2, looking for the minor third. So let's go to that one. And first by going like that, bringing this back up. And now I want to go from there to there to there. So those are going to be these on the inside. Where have we come already? We came down to 7.786, 100%, where this minor third would be equal to minor wave 1, comes in at 11,839. Now that's, I would look for that. So if this is a 1 and a 2, and we top out around here and start to head lower, that's a target. And that would be an intraday target, by the way. And then where do we have them next? We have another one at 11,739. We have another one at 11,659. That's a double. Then we have some at 11,527. So we have them all the way down. We have fibs all the way down. And we can continue to build them. I can take off these larger ones and I can start putting in these, which will allow us to continue to run the extensions. You see how we start going further? as we work our way lower. So then I can take off this level, and I now include this next level. So we will work our way lower on that basis. But right now, we're letting the market confirm to us. So let's talk that if it is part of minor wave 3 and we top out in a minute 2 up here, we're looking for these levels to be broken. I'll then be able to connect this one too, and we will get additional extended levels moving lower. So we will continue to have support levels. We will continue to have numbers where we believe the market, because the market is very Fibonacci in tune, will go to. All right, so I want to jump over to the S&P right now. That takes care of the Nasdaq for right now. Same deal. Same deal. I've got the exact same count right now. I'm still on this particular count. On this particular, let me go out to the daily so I can see what it is. Okay, so this is for the, no, it's not. It's a strange set. I'm going to remove it. Remove. If anything, I go for the entire. Should be here to here to here. Okay, so now this is the primary C wave. But what I want to talk about initially, so I'm going to take that off again, is the same deal, that the S&P is, oops, excuse me just a moment. Let me put that. I just want retracement. The S&P, similar to the Nasdaq, could also be putting in an intermediate wave B as a part of this larger B wave. I move that B wave up here because we will be putting in a C wave. Same deal. That, okay, we open up a little bit. We're not screaming, okay, but the Nasdaq did break itself back above 12,300. So everybody's okay. Let me just also include tomorrow is, guess what? It's an expiration every Friday. Don't forget, we also have daily expirations in the S&P and in the Nasdaq. And we don't know where they want it for tomorrow, but they may have needed to move it for today and then also do it for tomorrow. I don't know. All right, so here, if this is 618, today's low was, no, today's low was, come on, stay right there, 3903. Support was at 3902. That, yeah, okay. As we say, between a very good friend of mine, good enough for government work. It reached that support level and launched. Now that is a more attractive support level in this type of account because it fits into the area where it can bottom. If indeed this was an intermediate B wave and we're going to launch in a rally, it did exactly what it should do. Reach a bottom and just fly. And that's what it did. Pretty much after they reached that bottom, they just started to buy it, and balance of the day ends up at the high, and now they're continuing at the start of the Globex to continue to push a little bit higher. So that remains in the park. Now I'm going to quickly go and take that off, and let's talk the other, because it's going to be the same deal in terms of it's just a number where I have no idea what was behind the buying. Do we care? No, because it's real. That's where the market went. So what could the market do for here? We just talked about one view, or it could continue to build on this rally. And it could start to go through. Now, again, I'm not going to go over because you just listened to me talk about it in the NASDAQ, but it's the same principle here in the S&P. If you're a position trader and this index, in this index, or in one of the stocks that are within this index, well, A, you could use it for hedging, but B, you're going to want to pay attention so that you know when, if you need to switch position, when you need to, maybe if you're in a profit, take that profit, and maybe when to just flip it. All right. So there's decisions, particularly for swing traders in options in stocks, and options in futures, et cetera, things that are affected by equity markets. Now, otherwise, I continue to show view number one, and it's going to remain number one because it still has a lot of validity. I was calling for the market to really head lower and to head lower with a purpose today, like it had a purpose for doing it, and it did. There was negative news that affected chip makers. Didn't know yesterday, comes out today, boom, we get the reaction. So again, Elliott is not wrong, but it produced a low because we also talked yesterday that there are a few cycles that are bottoming right now, and they're very short-term cycles that could bottom now, swing higher, and then come back down again mid-September to late September. September is notoriously a weak month to begin with. So we have that toss into your mix. But we have to continually realize that we're trading a number. And that's what goes in. They're numbers. And you put the numbers together in such a fashion that you make money. So with that in mind, we don't need to be bullish. We don't need to be bearish. We just need to follow the price action. We need to accept these moves as real. They are real. That did trade. Money did change hand. Now, what we don't know, are they going to continue to take it higher? What would tell me that they're going to do that? Well, on a daily chart, they break above the 4. But I'm going to move this thing down real quick. Because if I take a look at the Elliott, right? So we're right to the hourly chart. There's the top. And I did switch around, like I said, in the Nasdaq. I also did it in the S&P, where I went up a degree. So this was minor wave 1 last night. Tonight, it's intermediate wave 1. These are fairly large and they do fit, but it does kind of begin to rush the larger count. Remember, if we are in a primary C wave going down, what's inside of it are 5 waves of intermediate degree. We have done 1 and 2. What's inside an intermediate degree third wave? 5 waves of minor degree. Here's minor 1, minor 2. What's going to be inside a minor third wave? 5 waves of minute degree. Minute 1, minute 2, strong possibility. Is minute 2 over, like I did in the Nasdaq? Let's drop down to the hourly chart and take a look. A little bit different, but still an ABC, more of an ABC. There's A, there's B, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 4, that's 3. Actually, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5 of 3, 4, 2, 2, 2, 5. I have an ABC up on the S&P. Nasdaq a little different, but I looked at it and thought I could do it. Kind of 1 and 2 are very flat, or the A and the B are all flat. So this was the surprise. And it did. Most people probably thought it was going to end right there, obviously, since it came in and sold it. And then they did the surprise. But this is an ABC. That's the low. A here. B here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3. So that's 1, that's 2, 3. ABC 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 of C. It could be a minute wave 2, all done, complete. Granted, it's after hours. They've only dropped it $5, $6, but now they're just going to come in. They're going to hit it a little bit. This is what I'm talking about. This is how we pay attention to the price action, etc. I'm glad it's trading. It's going to be a little bit longer update. I'm sorry. Back to the hourly chart. What would come next? Be another drop, except again, now it would be a minute 3 within a minor 3 within an intermediate 3. So again, what we're building is that stepping stones, right? So on the way down, here's what it's going to look like. Minute 2, we are coming off in a 5, that will be minute 3, and then we'll do a 4 and a 5, and that will be minute 5 of minor 3, and then we'll do a 4 and a 5, minor 4, minor 5, to put in this C, stepping stones, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3, 4, 4, doing it wrong, 4, 5 of 3. So we got a lot of stepping around to do. Play the market, play the number, play the little moves. If you understand the stepping, if you understand how to count it, if you understand how to look at it, it may be choppy and then you're not going to want to do it, but there will be parts where it's not, and it'll be tradable. So that is what I think is coming. Tomorrow is expiration. So we have, I believe, I'm not sure, definitively we have options that expire tomorrow, but we had options that expired today. Tomorrow, again, all over, but it's a weekly. So again, as well as the S&P, the Nasdaq, the Russell, the Dow, all. So the moves might be a little bit out of touch. If it's only an ABC of a wave A and we're going to do a little dippy B and then we're going to put in a C wave, I would expect it to remain more of a flat. It shouldn't be a zigzag. Unless I'm totally wrong with that being an ABC, this little move down in here. But we shall see. I am going to finish it there. But by saying, be prepared for both. We maybe even be surprised, but walk through the surprise and trade the number. And realize you can put your own fibs there so you can figure out where the limitations are to this upside. You're breaking above the 50s. So, yeah, it's got room. I can put in fibs and where I would run them from here. And I would do them just like that. So I'm just going to put these in on a wave 2. Wave 2, okay, so it's gone past 382, 3988 to 4008. 4008, 618, most common. 50%, 3988, second. 38%, 3968, third. So this is what it could do. And it could be just do it now, get up to there, or pull back and go up in a C wave and get up to here. Both are acceptable, and they would still remain at 2, and we would still could pull off and die. Very quickly, very similar to what we did last Friday, we could do again. Just putting it out there. I'm not saying that's what will happen, but when it does and you see it, take advantage of it. Believe it is basically what I'm saying, because it's just going to go. And you're only in it for maybe 10 points, 20 points, 30 points, whatever you can get. So it's not like we're getting married to it. You're making money, but it's fun to see that P&L and then go and continue to trade. Don't focus on P&L, focus on price action, and you'll make money. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Either way, I'm sorry, one more thing. I keep saying I'm going to leave it there. One more thing. The upside could be just as strong, at least for tomorrow, and get to levels where you're like, wow, holy crap, look where it is. Like right now, it's crossing back above 3,900, got down to almost, but just below 3,900. And now it's getting ready to get up back up to 4,000. So that's good, nice volatility. I don't know. I won't go beyond. Let's say, well, I think it's all going bullish. I showed you view number 2. Now, if that's what it's going to do, it's tradable. And I am going to leave it there. Have a great holiday weekend. The exchanges are closed on Monday. They will trade in Globex on Sunday. I will come in and likely make my updates on Sunday so that I also can have a Monday holiday. So again, I'll make it on Sunday. I will be taking a look on Monday in the afternoon, early evening to see what's up. And if anything is significant, I will put in an additional update. In the meantime, have a very, very safe and relaxing Labor Day weekend. And the next update will be on Monday, September the 5th.